We're back.
We're back, baby.
And we're somewhere new. Where are we right now?
We are in Kansas City.
No, terrible. We're in Destin, Florida.
Yes.
In a new studio called Florida Coastal Studios.
Floco, baby.
That's our new spot.
Mm-hmm.
Podcast room has moved and we're opening it up to the public. We're going to have all types of different sets and designs and let people come in and film their own podcasts. So come on in, locals. But other than that, a lot's been going on. So
oh my God, we've had so much going on.
We've been missing because no podcast, lots of work, but something family-wise has been going on.
We've been traveling.
What's going on with you bodily-wise lately?
You make it sound like I have hemorrhoids or something.
Wow. Well, I'm sure that's coming next.
Oh, great. Positive. Well, David had to go and knock me up.
That's right. We are being joined by a third member of the family soon.
Yeah.
Stef is pregnant.
Ta-da. Surprise.
So?
We've been a little MIA. First trimester, I was kind of in hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Second trimester, I'm still kind of in hiding.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, based on the colors here behind us, can you tell what it is?
We're having a boy.
That's right.
But I have a bunch of questions about the pregnancy I was going to let people ask us on the next podcast. I was just going to update everybody on life in Italy. But we can go that direction too.
No, you're pregnant. That's cool. Let's talk about Italy.
Okay.
We were gone for 2 weeks in Italy.
12 days, but who's counting?
You.
Yeah.
And it's 2 weeks including the flights. So
No, it was 12 days.
still too many.
You had the best time ever.
No, Italy was awesome.
But
it's like the thing no one warned us about was it was like Disneyland for adults in terms of lines. Like we're just crammed into little trolleys and cars and there's can't get on a bus or a train without everybody just kind of bumper to asshole.
that was just in Capri. And we're not really big Disney fans. I know, don't judge us. But
She's
that
projecting.
might be why we...
Disney's awesome.
Would you go every weekend?
Every weekend? No.
Would you go 12 days straight?
No.
Okay.
Our producer would.
Yes. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You're either a Disney fanatic who could live there and move in and spend every single day there, or you're like go visit. That was Italy for us.
go
Visit. That was Italy.
Yeah.
We went because we've always wanted to go to Italy. We've been talking about going for years. COVID happened. We missed like 3 Italy trips. And we were like, okay, well, if we're going to do a baby moon, let's go relax somewhere. And everyone's like, oh, Italy's awesome. You can go with kids. It's like, well, maybe we should go without kids first.
And then we were like, let's go to the Amalfi Coast. Let's do some nice like island relaxation. Let's make it worth it. Like baby moon. Let's
do some
chill.
tourist stuff and then relaxing stuff.
And the chill part didn't exist. It was just, hoodie, quick, let's go. Hurry, next, run, hoodie.
The chill part was Rome and Florence, which you wouldn't expect. You would think those would be...
Florence was my favorite part of the trip.
Me too.
Hands down.
Mine too.
And for those wondering, we did Rome.
Amalfi. Capri. We went to Capri and Anna Capri. And then we took the train to Florence, but we also did a 12-hour tour.
Oh my gosh. Does anyone
Maybe
else...
it's us.
Does anyone else have a wife that would book you on a 12-hour tour? 12 hours.
Okay.
And she's pregnant.
But why did I do it?
Because you're crazy.
Yes. Why else?
Because you hate me.
Okay, yes, but why else?
Well, because I said, we can do your tourist stuff, but I want days to relax. So you shoved it all in one day at one time.
Okay, well, people were telling us you have to go to Tuscany. You've got to do a wine tasting, which I didn't get to do. And you've got to do Pisa. You have all these things you have to do. So I thought, okay, if we're there for 2 days, let's take one of the 2 days and just do everything. So we don't have to say, I wish we would have done this. So that one day we had a 12-hour tour and we went to Siena, which was a freaking amazing, that was probably my favorite. And then we went to Tuscany and did a wine tasting in the Sangiovese vineyards. And then we did Pisa, which was great.
The Leaning Tower of cheese.
So most of the tour was driving different places, but I wanted to do it all at once. And then we ended our trip in Venice.
Yes, Venice. Venice was cool.
Venice was cool.
City on the water.
It was very cool.
Your favorite part of the whole trip?
Florence. I liked Florence because I liked the shopping was better there. I thought shopping was going to be great everywhere. Not the case. Shopping was best there. Food and gelato were best in Rome. I thought. Do you agree?
I agree. If
Not
anyone's going there to Rome, go to Gunther or Gunther?
Gunther.
Gunther
Right?
Gelato.
Gunther. Venice, I was a little disappointed on the food and the gelato. We threw out like 3 different kinds of gelato. Threw out pizza. It's very uncommon to do. But does that make us snobs? Like, were we at that point at the end of our trip where we were like, this just isn't good? But when you first get there, like, everything's so good.
Well, I think it's such a tourist trap in general that the locals can get away with having kind of just cheesy, crappy gelatos. It's like here, there's hole in the wall spots that just, people go to in the US, and it's not what US is known for, but it's a little store owner making his money off of dumb tourists who are like, it's my best gelato. Come and get it.
Okay.
Come and get my gelato.
Well, and each place had their own, what they were known for. Like, I'm trying to remember.
Italians.
Venice had the blown glass, which we weren't really interested in, blown glass and lace, so we didn't do the island hopping.
Mm-mm.
What did we do in Venice? Oh, we did the basilicas.
walked.
We had another tour.
We walked everywhere.
We did. We did a gondola ride, which was very nice. It wasn't stinky. Everybody said it's really stinky there. We didn't run into Stinky Town.
Stinky town.
Right? But it did flood a little bit, like the water rose. So we were walking.
Yeah, the big town squares will be almost underwater, including like the cafes when the tide rises high.
Yeah.
Which is normal, apparently.
Yeah. I mean, really, we had a great time. We walked everywhere, cobblestone streets, learned some Italian.
Really? What'd you learn?
I learned buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. I learned buonasera.
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 Maybe we didn't learn Italian.
Yeah, exactly. All I learned was that it's Spanish, but you flip letters around. That's
Instead
every
of
single letter.
Por favor, it's per favore.
Yeah.
And it's not grazie, it's grazie. Grazie.
Yeah, it's like a Canadian saying grazie.
Grazie.
Grazie, eh?
Grazie. But that's a little more, it's like subtle. Grazie.
Totally.
Yeah, food was great. It was beautiful. Italy has awesome public transportation too.
Every single person we met was from Australia.
Not every, but like 9 out of 10.
It was crazy. I'm like, it's so far for you. How'd you get here?
Yeah. And what about the bathrooms?
You have to pay to pee. Everywhere you go in Italy, you have to pay to use a bathroom.
That's really Europe, though.
Unless you're buying something from a store. They have public restrooms, but when you get there, there's a person at the front. They're like, either give me the money or there's a slot machine type thing.
Yeah.
I actually forgot. I have a little list.
What is it, like €1 or 3? It's like
about €1 for every time.
But you can get a coffee or an espresso. By the way, no cappuccinos afternoon. You're not allowed to have them. It's like a thing on digestion. So if you want a cappuccino in Italy, you do it before noon. Afternoon, you do espresso shots.
I did realize that there are certain corners in the cities that really smelled like pee, which I guess is kind of a downtown thing in general. Yeah. But after realizing you had to pay to pee everywhere, it made sense to me why it smells like pee, because people are probably like, I'm not paying to pee. I'm just going to go right here. Or
you don't have €1. And also we were told they take American dollars, but most places didn't. I know that's probably an ignorant American thing to say, but you want to definitely convert your dollars to euros when you get there, because most people don't take dollars.
I wrote taxi ripoff. Why did I write that down?
Because when we were in Amalfi, remember, it was like $55.
Oh yeah. So they have a sign by the taxi circle where you get your taxi.
We're going to say some negative stuff for a little bit.
I'm going to go ahead and tell you a couple negative things real quick. Taxis have a circle. You go get your taxi cab, and the hotel guy was like, there's a sign above their pickup that says the rates, what they have to abide by. Mm-hmm. So we go over there. And what was it, like 55 or something? We're like, €55, cool. We go to the taxi guy, we're like, hey, €55 is what they charge to go to that city. I'm like, we want to go over there. And then he's like, 85. I'm like, no, it says 55. That's the law, right? He goes, 85 is what we do. That's for a certain company, not us. And I'm like, no. So first of all, we're just frustrated at the taxi ripoffs. That's French. It's grazie.
Okay.
Buongiorno.
Okay. David doesn't like the be ripped off.
No customer service, period.
Yeah, that does not. In Amalfi.
Some place, in all of Italy, unless you're at like an actual 5-star Michelin place, you sit down. Sometimes they won't even ask you what you want. They'll just walk up with the notepad and just look at you.
Service is very different in the restaurants than it is in the States.
The best service we had that was at an average spot there weren't even Italians. They were Albanians.
That was a great time.
Yep.
What else do you have on your list?
Yeah, I mean, the restaurant one is the main one because if you get, let's just say, a glass of rosé or something, and it's been empty for a while, they don't come by to tell you or ask you like, hey, would you like another? Can I get you anything else? You literally have to like chase them down. Like, can I get a rosé? And they're like, they act like they're annoyed that you asked for them to do their job. One's annoying.
I didn't think they were annoyed. I thought they just wanted you to, you just have to ask. You have to ask for your check. You have to ask if you want something. Once they take your order, you have to ask. It's not like the States where they come and check on you.
Exactly. No customer service. Back to my first point. Uber cancels at least 5 times until you get one.
Oh, yeah.
So if you order an Uber,
I have some on my list.
It'll cancel. And you just keep on rebooking. So in advance, get your Ubers.
Like give yourself a 15-minute window
to get through the first 10 drivers.
Because you might get canceled on a few times. Yeah. But their taxis are what's under Uber, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually have Ubers. They're like taxis.
You can get taxis by waving them down. But if you want to get a taxi through the app, you just go on Uber and there's taxis on the Uber app also.
Yeah.
Everywhere charges a service charge. So make sure you look out for that if you're going to tip because they don't usually expect tips, but they tell you should tip. But then they'll also put a service charge on there and not tell you about it.
Yeah, they know you're American. So they'll add this what's it called? It's at the top, like CCO. There's a
just
charge.
Per customer charge is all the type.
PCO or something? PCC. They have a label. It's labeled on your check. So just know because if they say add €1 or 2, well, they're adding it anyway.
Here's the big one. It's just ridiculous. Because people are hopping from like islands, from cities. There's trains, there's ferries. The ferry, which we booked days out, we walk down to the dock and it's just not there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, where's the ferry? And I go up to the desk and everything like, oh, that was canceled. I'm like, do they just cancel them? Not tell anybody? And they're like, yeah, they just don't show up sometimes. I'm like, cool. So we basically weaseled on to a different boat headed to the same town. And the guy was trying to like upcharge us and stuff. I'm like, how about I just give you the cash? And he's like, okay. I'm like, this guy definitely just pocketed $20. But I'm like, whatever, take it. Well, if you can get us there, I don't care. So that was cool. At least they let us on. That
was nice because we would have missed our train.
Yeah.
You just have to know the system a little bit, I'll give you cash. And like, okay.
Yeah. Really, it's a free-for-all in terms of cancellations and stuff. You just have to get there.
There's no water. You don't have, I'm sorry, when I say there's no water, there's no tap water at restaurants.
Well, there is. All the water runs to the aqueduct system underneath Italy, so you can free refill everywhere you go, which is really neat.
Well, that's different. That's your water refill. I'm saying when you go to a restaurant, they don't give you tap water. Yeah. It's all bottled water.
True.
So even if you ask, if they say still or sparkling, you're going to get bottled water if you want a water. They don't offer you tap water. I wonder why, because the water around town is so delicious.
That's the thing. There's no free water in restaurants, but Italy is like the only place in the world where there is actual free running water everywhere.
It's so good. So they look like a pump station or like a...
They're like fountains.
Kind of.
Some of them people drink out of the actual fountain.
Oh yeah, that's true too. But they look like fire hydrants.
We'll probably like spigots. But designed.
Yeah, they're cool. And you can just refill your water bottles, which are really great. So don't go and buy cases of water. Just bring a reusable water bottle and fill them up all around the different places. Was that it on your list? Because I have some too.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got some?
I got some. Take ferries instead of the buses. Yeah. We took the ferries everywhere. But the buses were all on.
Oh, in terms of if you're on the coastal cities like Amalfi Coast and you want to get to Positano and all those, take the ferries because they cut across. They're like 20 to 60 minutes in between. The buses and taxis apparently are just like winding on the roads and they'll add an hour to your drive.
Yeah. So it might be like $4 for a bus or $15 for the ferry. Pay for the ferry because your time, you're paying for it either way. You're going to pay for your time on the bus. Ubers cancel, you said. Okay, the train platforms. When you're in Italy and you're looking up at the platform numbers, they don't list them early. So some people say get there like 30 minutes before your train. You don't need to do that because you're not going to know your platform until 6 to 8 minutes before.
Get there early enough to like know you're at the right spot.
Yeah.
But just watch the board within 10 minutes and it's going to tell you which platform.
And then double check that you're at the right platform because the train system can be a little finicky. And then they like look at your ticket. It tells you which coach number you're at. And so they have little sections of the train that you can wait outside and get on the right spot. The trains were, I thought, pretty easy.
Trains were great.
We were warned a lot about pickpocketing there. A lot of people, I
Yeah.
guess, have theft. So just make sure you keep everything close. We had a girlfriend whose passport got stolen at the train station, but
Yeah, the only pickpocketing I had to deal with was just someone caught me with my hand in their pocket, but we're
no,
good.
I don't know.
Yep.
Whose hand?
My hand, their pocket.
Whose pocket was your hand dipping in?
Next question.
Okay, yeah. All right, the trash and dirtiness. It was kind of dirty. Rome was kind of dirty. There's a lot of trash.
I think what you realize is that
Pollution.
just every major city, no matter what country you're in, is kind of
Mhm.
dirty.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good one. Maybe because I worked in the restaurant industry for a long time. But you can literally walk by and look inside of these kitchens at the restaurants, and they are immaculate. There's not a single speck of food, dirt, nothing on the floor. Their kitchens are so clean. They're so clean. In the States, when you're in a rush, there's food, the kitchens get trashed. But like every single kitchen, I felt like was a Michelin star rated cleanliness. Did you notice that too?
Yes. And did you want to give a shout out to the Michelin star restaurant we went to?
I loved it. We went to Cincy.
You better give it right if we're going to do a shout out.
It's in the, I have pregnant brain. What hotel did we stay at? Oh my God. It was called the what?
The Henderson,
No. What was the hotel called we stayed at in Amalfi?
the Amalfi Township Courtyard.
Okay, either way, it's called
Ramadan.
Cincy, and it's in the hotel, and it was fantastic. The restaurant was probably one of our best meals. The service was fantastic. The wine you had was delicious. Just awesome. So check it out if you're looking for a five-star Michelin star rated restaurant.
5-star, 1-star
What
Michelin
was the
star.
name of the place we stayed?
It was just basic. It was like the hotel.
No, I'll think of it. It'll come to me in a minute. Also, in Florence, something that we didn't know is they don't salt their bread. So if you're going to get like the bread at the table, no, it's not going to have much flavor. So they'll bring you salt too, which is also kind of a misconception. You think when you're in Italy, you're going to get olive oil and vinegar with every meal. You don't.
No one gave us olive oil and vinegar, but like one place.
That's because we got the salad. It came with the salad, not the bread.
Oops, put on the bread.
Yeah, it was delicious. Okay, I think that's all I have on my notes for.
Great. All right, let's wrap this thing up.
Is that everything? Okay, what about some positives? Because we just dropped some like.
We started with positives. Italy was really cool. It was gorgeous. I think the coolest part of Italy is the history.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
being over there just makes you realize that USA is a baby.
It's a baby.
Like 1776 was like yesterday compared to the fact that we went there and there were still structures up that were built 2,000 years ago. I'm like, 2,000?
Yeah.
That's crazy. We're like, what, 3.5 people old and they're 2,000? That's insane.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite thing we saw?
Thing would be David's thing, but historical.
His thing and his butt?
Historical stuff. What was the first king of Italy after the Union, where they became all one country? That big structure with the Pegasus and the
Athena.
carriages.
That was cool. That was next to the Colosseum, right?
Yeah, the Colosseum was cool.
Well, let's back up. Oh, that is in Rome.
Mhm.
Okay, Rome. What did we do the first day? Nothing. What did we do the second day? You didn't want to do anything. Oh, we went to the Vatican and we did the Basilica, St. Pete's.
St. Peter,
Uh-huh.
where he is lying underneath it.
Yep.
We got
We
to
did that
see
the first day. That was really cool. That was mind-blowing how much money is in there.
Michelangelo's stuff.
We saw the finger one where they're like, ta-da, the art. And they say don't take pictures.
Yeah, Stef's going to Italy prison.
I know. I can't be trusted. I did take a picture of that. We also did, there was something else we did that afternoon. I don't remember.
We ate gelato.
Yep.
We had pizza, pasta, and gelato every single day. Steph
Yeah.
was pregnant. We ate carbs and sugar, and Steph gained 1 pound the whole trip after 2 weeks.
Yeah. That was impressive. But after that, we did the Forum. We did the Colosseum. We did the Underground tour,
Mm-hmm.
which I think would have been really cool if you had a good tour guide. Our tour guide was horrible.
Our tour guide was like, welcome everybody to the Colosseum, and down here then is there's
Water.
animals were here because animals had 4 legs and animals need place to be, and once that happened then things happen, and then we come here. Let's move to the next thing. We're like, whoa, what? I'm like,
That's
wait,
not
so,
being dramatic.
we're like, wait, so there were animals down here? Yes. Why? Because animals are here. I'm like, or were they used as pawns for the battles? No, yeah, sure. Like we had to like pry information.
It was horrendous.
There's an aqueduct through the entire city, and then there's water underneath the Colosseum that runs through like these prison cells, these structures for the animals. And then she's like, there was water down here. And I think it was you who asked, like,
it was the German.
Why was there?
Made, right?
So why is there water down here? And she's like, because there's just water. And moving on. And we're like, and even I was like, clearly there's water down here so that the animals and people have water. Like it's a natural aqueduct that they've built, so it's just always funneling.
That's what you think. We really don't know.
But she wouldn't tell us.
She didn't. I don't know. It was just an interesting tour. But the tour guide before her, who did the forum, was wonderful. We got to see where Julius Caesar was cremated. That was really fun. These columns, they had these giant columns that still existed. This giant, and it's one piece of marble. That you don't see that anymore. Nowadays, it's like pieces of marble stacked on top of each other, and it makes sense why that column's still standing. So, I mean, they had some really awesome, really, like the history, like you said, was really a really nice piece of the tour.
Yeah.
My brain's not working.
It's okay. Brains are stupid.
I know. What else did we do at was that it we did in Rome? Words are hard.
We don't touch stuff.
Sure
we don't have to talk about Italy all the time. What are you talking about?
I know, but I want to go through it because I think people might find this.
Just go to our Instagram,
fun.
and Stef made a reel for every 10 seconds of the day.
Yeah, and it's all gelato and pizza and pasta and a little bit of history.
I would love some pizza and pasta. Frank, you want some pizza after this? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have to talk about it as much. Is there anything else we want to add?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Trump or Harris?
Oh, no, we're not doing that. We're not going to do that. But if you had to vote on one of them, I would say Frankie. Frankie gets my vote.
Frankie for president.
Frankie for president. You know, I think I'm raised differently, which it's hard to explain it now because you're seeing my parents at the state that they're in.
That's Tennessee.
Yeah, but usually in the South, you don't talk about religion. You don't talk about politics.
And you don't tell someone how to raise their kids.
That is correct. But somehow I'm looped into this bubble where everybody wants to talk about it. And it just makes me really uncomfortable. Like I'll talk about it with people that I trust and that people that really want to hear my opinion and we can have a conversation. But I'm not going to have a conversation with people about politics who just want to be right. I refuse because the conversation's already over. It's already over.
Wrong.
Exactly. So there are certain people in my circle
Boobs
that I will
are
talk.
Huge right now.
They're huge. They're huge. They're so big. I've only had like 3 growth spurts in my entire life. One was my feet. It's the only thing that ever
the
grew.
The second one was your feet.
The first
the third one was your feet.
Yeah. Because I've been the same height since I was like 5. But my feet grew. My feet grew so much. The second growth spurt, my boobs, being pregnant. And the third is like the belly skin. I'm growing. I feel it. Do you feel sorry for me?
What are you doing during this process? Are you binding your feet so they don't grow? Are you putting sports bras on and rubbing coconut oil on your belly?
Yeah, I did coconut oil for a while because everyone's like, you're going to get stretch marks. Whatever. I've been getting this stuff called, it's from Weleda. Weleda, is that a brand? It's a stretch mark oil.
You're asking me. Yes, this podcast is brought to you by Weleda.
But I'll say it's challenging to do it because, you know, you have to be naked and you got to like lather yourself up with this oil. My husband, I don't know how you know, but you walk in the room every time and you're like.
I'm this meme from behind the tree.
Yeah, every time I'm in the bathroom like lathering up because I'm itchy and growing and David's just, hey baby. I'm like, don't even look at me. Don't look at me.
She's Zach Galifianakis from The Hangover. Don't look at it. Don't touch it.
Don't look.
Walk away.
Don't. Yeah, so those are my growth spurts in case people wanted to know. Did you have growth? Did you have growing pains? Did you get like tall and feel your bones aching?
No.
That happens, a real
person.
thing. But that happens. A lot of my friends had growing pains.
No, that's not a thing.
It's a thing.
No.
Your bones hurt. You're growing.
Nope.
Okay. We have an 11-year-old in the room, so don't do that.
So yeah. What else is going on in the world with you today?
Okay, in the world with me today. That's a very generic, specific question.
How about these port workers? Do you believe in them?
Of course I believe in them. I believe in the people who keep America
Do
going.
you believe in ports after all?
After what?
After all.
Oh, yes, after all. Okay, well, that's one. We've had a lot of like changes with work too.
Why are the ports being struck down?
Are they?
Why is there a port strike?
I don't know. Because they want more money?
Yeah.
Better labor? I don't think that's asking
Better
too
labor.
much.
I want better labor. Make me work harder.
No, like better labor
I guess the
environment?
West Coast ports get an average of $116,000 a year as their salary, and these are all the East Coast, the 35, and they're only getting paid $85,000 a year.
Really?
Or $81,000 a year.
I
So they want the same. They want to be paid. They want to be paid the same as the West Coast, and I guess it's a strike against automation. AI is taking over all the ports.
Okay, so they feel like they're having job threats?
They're not being paid enough, and a lot of them are losing their jobs to automation, I guess.
Yeah.
And now no one's going to have bananas.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean no bananas?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It's still, I think, my favorite meme of all time.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Jennifer Lawrence? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Nah.
I'm saying
I know. I hear you. I have headphones on.
Bananas. Most of bananas to the country come through ports.
You know what else comes through ports? Everything.
Rusty portholes.
No. But a bunch of people.
A bunch of people come through ports?
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe they
I wonder
do.
when there's a labor strike at the ports if there's also a human trafficking strike.
Or do the people... This is a disturbing
Or they just rot with the bananas.
Oh, David, that's so sad.
Well, it shouldn't be happening.
Agreed.
Yeah, quit bringing bananas in our country that aren't.
Oh my God. You are the banana in our country.
I am a banana.
Banana. That's a shout out to our producer.
My spoon's too big.
But I do. Did you hear a bunch of people went out and bought toilet paper again, like the COVID thing?
Yeah, we saw it in person. We went to Costco not because of horrific, gotta get our stuff. We went to Costco because we don't have any Costcos. So when we drive
Trader
by
Joe's.
one, we go. And it was right when the port thing was happening. And this lady was yelling at the manager up front about, well, this is a problem because I don't have any toilet paper at home.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, maybe you don't use as many squares, first of all.
You need to preach to the choir on that one.
I have a bidet now.
You are a square.
I'm a right dial turner now.
Yeah, but not really. Okay. Even though you have the bidet, you use the bidet. You use the toilet paper, and then you use the wipes.
I do not use the wet wipe if I use a bidet.
Really?
Really?
So why do you have the wet wipes if you have the bidet?
That's for the guest bathroom without the bidet.
No, there are wet wipes in our bathroom too.
I don't touch those.
What are they doing there?
I didn't put them there.
Did I put them there?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Pregnant brain.
Probably.
I'm
Okay.
going to say this forever now. If you do something wrong, but it's pregnant brain.
It is. It is. Because I literally took this wall mount out of the outlet.
What are you saying?
Like a charger block. I took a charger block out of the outlet because I was going to go plug my phone in while I was having a Zoom call
Zoom.
with a client. And I just walked around the house for half an hour trying to find this freaking block. It was in my hand the whole time. The entire time it was in my hand. I was like, where did I put it? And I kept looking at my hands like, I swear I just took it. And it must have been in my hand. I just couldn't see it. Like there was no connection from my eyeballs to my hand to see the charger block.
Did you rep this?
What?
Did you rep this block?
I repped this block. I couldn't find it. And that's just the beginning. Like there are so many things that are just happening in my brain.
Sounds silly.
It is silly. They say babies take your brain cells, and that is definitely the case. My brain cells are gone.
So what was your excuse before?
They were just, you were my baby.
I am your baby.
You were my baby.
So
Uh-huh.
let's talk about where we really are right this second.
Right this second?
Yep.
There's no telling.
We are in Florida Coastal Studios, located in Destin, Florida, on Harbor Boulevard.
People are going to come skin us alive. You can't tell them exactly where we are.
I hope they come purchase packages. We are offering
Who's packages?
full photography, Essentially, what Mai Tai does, we're doubling up.
You got to back up. You can't just drop this like marketing bomb to people who don't know where we are, what we do.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Stefani's going to tell you the next thing.
No, you do it. You're doing
on.
a great job, but you're doing a great job.
I'm doing a great job, but I was just told to stop because I'm not doing it right.
Start from the beginning. Tell people why
In
we
1989,
You
I
were
was born a baby.
Start though, like what inspired. Tell the story. Don't just
No.
sell it.
I don't,
Nobody wants
I'm
to
not
be
telling a
sold
story.
anything
I'm just
anymore.
going to tell them what we offer.
No, tell the story. There's a story there.
All right, you start. Go.
Okay.
We can't name the person, though.
We had
involved.
a business partner who approached us. I don't remember how. Approached you? Did he approach you? She? He?
Snuck up behind me.
Schnee.
It was a Hershey.
Pincher a Hershey. Okay. We had been talking about, I don't even know how it came about. This is before we knew we were pregnant.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Nope.
Yes, we didn't know we were pregnant at the time.
Do you want to
Zip.
go into the timing?
Yeah.
All right. And 3, 2, 1, go.
I don't know the timing. You're telling me my timing is wrong, so you have
No,
to
go,
do it.
continue what you were saying, and I'll edit it
You're
after.
just correct me after.
Yeah.
No, you do it.
Wrong.
Either way, we didn't know we were pregnant. We were talking about potentially taking the podcast studio out of that room. We had somebody approach us who was like, hey, I have this opportunity, this space, and I'm looking to do something with it. This is my vision. And his vision was to have a studio. We were like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about taking our podcast out and putting it into like an actual tax write-off space here and having it be something, because every time we would do a podcast, people said, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. So we realized there's an opportunity for business where the guests we were bringing on could also piggyback on the space when we weren't using it. So they didn't have to come into our home and use our podcast. We're like, okay, we'll create this spot and people can rent it for a couple hours a day and they can host their own podcast and put their logos up on the TV and change the whatever. It'd just be fun. So the timing worked out really great. And then we found out we were pregnant. And we're like, okay, well, now this room can be the baby room. So that's kind of how it got started. We were able to pull out we were able to pull out the drop screens. The drop screens. So now in the other room, which you can't see, we have an actual studio too. So we do headshots, videos. We've been working a lot with some real estate agents because that seems to be a big market here in Destin. We're doing reels for people. We want to turn like each little area of the space up here into its own little studio. And our producer, Frankie's going to help us decorate it, which we're really excited about because she has a good creative eye. So yeah, if anyone's looking to have their own podcast and you have a theme, like if you want it to be coastal or more feminine or more of like that masculine leather cigar feel, you know, we're going to have spots for people. And we're going to hopefully change the Destin, Florida area to make it its own little marketing area. It's going to be really fun. A lot of opportunity here.
That's right. So
Yeah.
Florida Coastal Studios, check it out.
And we're going to get some hats and shirts that are Floco.
That's right. So the website is currently under construction. We're hoping that you can just book everything through there. So you'll go,
Yeah.
do I want to use the photography studio? Do I need to rent special equipment with it? Or do I want to do a podcast? Which setup do I want? Eventually, you're just going to click it, click your time slot, how many hours, boom, you just show up, and we'll have a producer waiting here to click the buttons, and you just do your thing. We'll hand you a USB drive right after, or just send you the file via Dropbox, and you are good to go, upload on your own, and you have a podcast running.
Look at that. And you didn't have to pay to invest in all this
Nope.
equipment and
Let us do the heavy
Studio.
lifting for you.
yeah. So yeah, let us know if you're interested. If you're in the Emerald Coast area and you are looking to brand yourself,
That's right.
come see us.
Because we're getting things just moving again, as we said, baby, family, new business ventures. So we're getting this thing. Ew. Ew. Gross.
I don't know if anybody else got that.
Everyone's getting it.
There was a really nasty cold that went around.
Yeah, and it's inside of your burp you just had through your throat. I heard that.
I had a gleek. I gleeked in my cheek. That was a weird place to do.
Gleek in my cheek. Gleek in my cheek.
But an ongoing joke we have is when I get a respiratory cold, I get a cough for like 6 weeks and it drives David crazy.
6 months.
Who's counting?
I am.
Yeah.
So that being said, hopefully we'll get things flowing again, and we're going to Flowco. We're going to get new guests in weekly, and
Yeah. Let us know who you guys want to hear next. Got some good people coming in the works.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to mention? Anything else?
Hurricane Helene
It's Helene.
did some damage.
Not
We
for
left.
us.
You boarded up the whole house, and we didn't get anything.
That's right.
We had to strap down the bees. By the way, we're beekeepers. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Of course they know that.
I know, but for those new peeps out here, and so
All
when
those
a
newbies.
when a hurricane comes, what do you do with your bee boxes?
You bolt it to the ground on eye bolts.
But we didn't do that. We didn't, because we have pavers. Anyway, the vice president of our bee association was out of town, so we went over and strapped down all the bee boxes. And you just hope that if the wind blows them down, that the boxes stay intact, because then the queen stays in there. You can always put everything back together, but it can be a mess.
It can be.
It can just get bee. But anyway, we thought the damage was going to be here, and we had tickets to go to pilgrimage in Tennessee. So we're like, okay, well, we'll drive to Nashville, which is what we were going to do anyway. We didn't get any damage here, but the storm traveled all the way up with us to Nashville and did some damage to my parents' place.
The small towns on the Gulf side of like above Tampa, some of that like Anne Island, a lot of that got really wrecked.
Yeah.
And then obviously Asheville is all underwater.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm happy that we didn't have damage, but I feel really terrible for like North Carolina, Asheville. There's a lot of people, and we don't have to talk politics, but I will say I'm very disappointed in the government and how they're helping the people out there.
$750.
Yeah, what is that going to do? Buy you some toilet paper at
What
Costco?
I don't understand why.
That either.
Since we're in the world of identifying as we want, once again, this was a joke with Hawaii. Why doesn't North Carolina just identify as Ukraine and just get like $4 billion sent to them?
I don't know. I'm really disappointed with them, though.
Here's a good question, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, not to get political, but this is political. Kamala Harris is the one who was doing the speeches down there.
When?
Isn't she the vice president?
Uh-huh.
So where's our president?
Pooping his pants.
Shouldn't he be
Shouldn't he be?
Shouldn't he be?
Well, the same thing happened. Like, look, same thing happened at
George Bush hates black people.
The same thing happened with, Louisiana. Same thing. And it's like, why? I don't understand why we don't take care of the American people.
Well, FEMA just said they're out of money.
Why are they out of the money? Did they take all the money and give it to other countries? I can't wrap my head around that concept. Like, if we are not taking care of our own people here in the United States,
Ever. There's so many struggling communities.
Why are we in other people's businesses? And I don't know enough about it. That could be a very ignorant statement where people could say, oh, well, if we didn't get involved here, it could have been mass destruction there. Sure, fine. But
I also think those people are brainwashed into thinking that way because the government contracts of NATO, when in reality, you should be able to take care of your house before. If you're flooding your whole neighborhood, shouldn't we save it before we go handle something else?
But I mean, we have military friends that have said that some of these wars are very, like, you have to. You can't not get involved. And so I'm not educated enough to speak on should we or shouldn't we be involved. But what I can speak on is, don't you think we need to take care of our home front? Yeah. Just as much as we're taking care of all these other things. If we're going to be there, we also need to make sure we're taking care of here.
Well, the argument,
and if we can find the money to go there, can't we find the money to support people here? I mean, we've got friends and family that were trapped in Asheville for days with no communication. That is horrific. People are down. I don't know. I can't.
Well, the argument of getting in other people's business is because control and ownership of those territories where, as our friends have said, if we don't do it, Russia or China will. And if we don't jump in on wars between Israel and Palestine or any of those surrounding countries, Ukraine or Russia, then the military industrial complex doesn't get to make money, and the contract defense teams. Defense contractors. I'm like, why am I saying it wrong? The defense contractors won't make money because they make money off of death and war.
It's awful. Something's got to give.
Same way where if you own a hospital and you got 500 beds, if those beds are empty, you ain't making money.
Yeah.
If you have a hotel with 500 beds and you have no one staying in your hotel, you don't make money. It's all the same thing. You need consumers of whatever you're selling. And if you're a defense contractor, you need the U.S. and these other countries to buy your weapons so they can start killing each other.
Do you think that the world is going through a big shift climate-wise, or do you think this is man-made? Do you feel...
Are you talking about weather now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't here 20,000 years ago to know if we're doing a circle of life.
You don't believe in reincarnation? You may have been here. You may have been the dinosaur.
You know who
if
I
those
was?
are even real.
If we want to talk about climate change, I was Sid.
What if I was Sid? Well, then I was the. No, that doesn't work because that's not the same character. The little squirrel in the net.
That's. Oh yeah, so it's your fault. You're the one that broke the ice.
Yeah,
did everything.
Pregnant brain. I had pregnant brain
right.
then too. 200,000 years ago.
I think that
2,000
there's
years ago?
money to be made in all of it, and I also don't know. I don't think humans are doing any favors because we're filthy and we see the trash all over the world and plastic in the ocean, which is all bad. I'm pro making clean everything, but I also don't know if the earth goes through cycles and different parts of it shifts. I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm a believer or a non-believer. I'm almost agnostic to where I'm saying we should be better as a species, and we have not been around long enough to know what it's done every time.
Does this mean you're not going to kill bugs anymore?
Bugs Bunny?
Any bugs? Because if you're going to respect it, you got to respect them all.
I didn't.
So just
what
stop
is-
squishing
What
the
does a
bugs.
bug have to do with
Stop
that?
squishing the bugs.
That doesn't have anything to do
It
with
does. You got to respect.
having a clean environment.
Respect.
I want a clean environment. I don't want cobwebs all over
Well,
the
if you
place.
kill the spiders, they're not going to kill the other bugs that you're killing. You're just wiping them all out.
I'm saving your bees.
You're not saving my bees.
They're killing your bees.
They don't kill my bees.
They're killing the bees.
They're eating the bees. They're eating the honey.
They're eating the bees. The beetles are eating the honey. The bears are eating the
Oh.
larvae.
We've had a lot of beetles.
We've got some Haitian spiders eating the bees.
Y'all, I have to deal with this man all the time.
Am I too loud for you, Frankie? You want to turn down your volume?
She doesn't even want to hear your voice in her
I
head.
start go like this.
Yeah, because you're talking about eating the bees. She doesn't want to hear you.
They're eating the bees.
Yeah,
They say they're eating the bees.
you're a mess. Seriously. All right, well, we have a lot to catch up on. We don't
That's
have to do it all in this one.
A lot of
session.
time has gone by, and time can pass when time goes through a cycle of movement throughout time, and you have been unburdened by what will be, has been.
You would be a great tour guide for the Coliseum.
My name is...
Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
All right.
All right,
Well,
let's wrap it up.
oh yeah,
Let's
we're
get out of
gonna
here.
because
We're going to grab a piece of pizza.
oh, I don't want pizza.
All right. Me and Frankie will go. You stay here till tomorrow.
Well, I can't not eat it if y'all are gonna go. I had cinnamon rolls for breakfast that was made with the bees.
All right. The bees?
Well, the bees honey.
Oh, so you put bees on the cinnamon roll?
Maybe bees in the trap. Bees in the trap.
All right. Let's
All right.
wrap this thing up.
You've already said that. Just wrap it up.
All right. We're going to wrap it up. So just wanted to run a full test on the podcast in here to make sure everything's working, which it is. And thanks for
Mhm.
tuning in again. We will be back, and
We're gonna talk all thing pregnancy next one because y'all have a lot of questions.
we
I did
should
a
probably have
poll.
a mom on or a midwife.
I
Then
am
for
a
that one.
mom. Ooh, maybe I'll get the midwife on. Whoever we decide to pick.
All right.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right in the middle. The
That'd be
wife.
great. That would be great.
All right. Midwife next.
And maybe the doula.
Maybe the doula.
That-
Abdullah Ablamgada.
Which we're giving away one of our questions already about that.
All right. Love you.
Love you so much. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Okay. Love you guys. Thanks for
Do you want
tuning
to show him
in.
the belly?
Can you see the belly? Can I do it next time?
All right. Peace.
Love y'all. See ya.
ya.